Hey everybody, this is Webby at Webby101 and thank you so much for visiting my channel today. This is my very first YouTube video and I hope you all really enjoy it. What I'm going to talk about today is Wizard 101, the reasons why I like it, why I don't. I've been playing it for the past almost a year now, so I figure, this is a good time for me to do a YouTube video for Wiz. And also I just want to do a quick introduction to the game, show you all how to create a character, what that's kind of like in case you've never seen the game before, and also we'll go over the first part of Wizard City, which is Unicorn Way. Not gonna go. So if you've never made a character before, it is going to automatically load you into character creation. And just real quick, this is my main character. I'm really proud of her. I've worked on her quite a bit for the last few months. I don't play every day like some people, which is why she's not at max, but that's going to change soon. I am going to get her to max as soon as I can, and maybe I'll even record, that last little stint that I do to get her to level 130. I might go ahead and record that. So anyway, so if you haven't ever played the game before, you'll start in character creation. If you have played the game before and you want to create a new character, you just go down here to new.
Aha! The spell is working.
So this is just like a little introduction. They have not changed this in 10 years, I don't think. This has always been the same.
Look, Gamma.
Oh,
A young wizard.
oh, really? Where?
Oh, very. I wonder what map. Perhaps we should consult the Book of Secrets.
Headmaster Ambrose turns to regard you intently.
Answer these questions to find out what type of wizard you are.
Alright, so this is the character creation process. If you've never done the test before, I recommend you do the test just to see what it says. However, you can skip the test and just create, one of these 7 schools. You create a wizard out of one of these 7 schools. So we'll go through the schools real quick. Storm is like your classic glass cannon. They are, if you were playing D&D, they're what wizards are, especially if they're specialized on, evocation. They do most of the damage. However, if a storm wants to support, they can support. They just have to have a different setup. And they can also heal, but again, they just have to have a different setup. Really, all of the schools, you can do anything you want with any of them. You just have to have a certain setup. Naturally, they're heavy hitters, but they have very low health, so they die quickly. Oh, and by the way, that's how you get to the test. If you accidentally skip the test and you want to get back to it, you just go into a school and you hit try again. It takes you back to the test. And then there's Myth, and Myth is like, summoner pet class. They rely heavily on their minions, but they can do a variety of things. They can tank, they can support, they can heal, but again, it just depends on what setup you have, what kind of armor you have, what things you have equipped, such, all that good stuff. I keep doing that. And then life wizards are your healers. A lot of people think they can't hit, but they can hit. Again, they just have to have the right setup, so I keep doing that. And then fire is kind of similar to Storm. They do high amounts of damage, but they do damage over time. So that's their specialization. They burn people in the burns. They take damage because of that. Ice, which is what I'm going to make today. So Ice is like a tank because they can take a lot of hits, and they can attack quite a bit. Again, it just depends on their setup, but their health is going to be quite a bit, especially when you compare it to a Storm. It's going to be quite a bit higher.
Oh, my vision is failing me. Are you a boy or a girl?
And there's Balance, and Balance is really all about support mostly. Again, they can hit, and they do pretty well in PvP. But I mean, again, it's just whatever your setup is. And death. Okay, so death wizards are like your classic necromancer type of thing. They're gonna summon skeletons and such to attack, but those attacks are also frequently gonna heal the wizard that casts them. So any kind of death magic you use typically will give you some health in return after the attack. Alright, so, and like, I'll just go ahead and go through the test real fast. So, be a part of my winning team. Blizzard. Reading and writing. Winter. Part of a winning team. I like dragons. Sapphires are cool. So, okay, I got an ice wizard. I did kind of, flub those answers because you can, if you answer right, you'll get whatever school you want. It's very easy to do, but I mean, you could also answer as honestly as you possibly can and just go with whatever school it gives you right off the bat. I prefer to just do one out of every school, so that's why I'm making an ice character, because I don't have an ice character yet.
Oh, my vision is failing me.
I'm
Are
making a
you
girl.
A boy?
Every time I
or
do a new
girl?
character, I like to envision, you know, like what kind of archetype this is going to be. So for my main, you know, I based that off of Ursula from Disney's Little Mermaid, and I really wanted her to be, you know, like a badass sea queen type of character, which is why I went with Storm for that, because Storm spells are very heavy in the rain and water and all that, and lightning as well. So for this character, I am really going to focus on trying to make her look like and be like the White Witch from Narnia. I love that character. She's got a lot of good
But now that we
backstory.
know what
If
you
you've
are,
ever read the
what do
Narnia
you
books.
look like?
And I think what we'll go with is this one for now. 'Cause I already have a headpiece for her that I know I'm going to put on her. So, and I really like this because it's really like that resting bitch face type of look. You know, she's just a lot harder. This looks too warm for a White Witch. This wouldn't be too bad because she's got like a I don't give a fuck type of look. And then, yeah, too happy. I have to be careful because I think I might have used some of these already. I'm pretty sure I did. Pretty sure this is my main space, so I can't use that. I know I haven't used that before, so I am going to go ahead and use that. If I have, I can change it. All of this stuff you can change once you get to, what is it, the shopping district? Yeah. Once you get to the shopping district in Wizard City, there is a person that you can change appearance with. It costs gold, mostly. I think it costs gold. I can't remember if it costs crowns or gold. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these are the settings I want. And then I want her to be pretty white. The skin range in this is one thing I'm like, they could fix, right? Because they have normal skin ranges, but even the darkest black is not as black as I've seen on normal people just in real life. So I feel like they could add a couple more shades of black. Yeah, because like, look, what the hell is that? Like, you got like mocha, white, like white, mostly white. This might be a Hispanic color. And this is like pale alabaster white, which is what I'm going with.
Good. Now, what do you wear?
But I would, like, when
Now
it
that we
comes to
know
these
what
skin
you are,
colors,
what do you
I
look
want to
like?
see fantasy skin colors too. Like, I want blue, and I want green, and I want all that stuff. Like, and I would also like to see, you know, some races thrown in, because when you get into the game, you'll actually find out that, you know, there's a lot of other humanoid races that can learn magic and can become wizards themselves, and so it just doesn't make sense to me why the game limits you to a human child, but it does. So That's my one like big
Good,
thing
good.
is like
Now,
character
what do you
customization could be
wear?
a lot better. Especially when you have like these other games, like World of Warcraft has a lot of customization from what I remember. I haven't been on that game for about 4 or 5 years, but from what I remember, like there's a lot of customization involved. And yeah, so this is my look for her.
All right then.
All right,
What is your name?
I do already have a name picked out. Um, I wish they had more names because there's just like there's not a whole lot as far as names are going on. Like there could be more. Like let's see, there could be an Alice. There's an Alicia and an Allison and a Laura and Alyssa, but there's no Alice. And Alice is like a classic name for any type of magical fairy tale, anything. Um, so there could be more names. And then same for boys. Like boys, I think should get Alistair, and they don't have an Alistair. Boys don't have half the cool names I think they should have. They really need to update these names. Alright, so I know which one I want. I'm going to go with Fiona. I don't have a Fiona. And I'm going to go with Winter. And you can randomize this if you want. Down here, you can just click that and I'll randomize it for you. I prefer to pick out my names. And I bypassed that. Son of a bitch. Winter. Yes, okay. Now, do they have a Smith? Because if they don't have Smith, then they do have Winter Smith. Okay, so I am a huge Tiffany Aching fan. Anything Terry Pratchett Discworld, I'm a huge fan of, and Winter Smith is a title of a book that I just read here recently, and I'm surprised they have that, but I think this is perfect. So Fiona means white or fair, and then you have Winter Smith, so, fair, Winter Smith, white, Winter Smith, whichever way you take it. It's very, White Witch to me, because the White Witch is also beautiful, and that kind of the whole fair thing implies beauty too, so I'm really pleased with the name. I put a lot of thought into my names. I really don't like to name characters just all willy-nilly. You can do whatever you want. You can actually click none on both of these and just have, one first name, like Cher, and just go by that. Alright. Oh, what happened? Yeah, and I do have other characters. I am going to make a myth character at some point when I get the character slot potion. And that's one thing about the game is, if you want some extra character slots, you either need to make a whole nother account, or you have to buy the potion, and the potion only gives you one additional slot, and it costs real life money, so I don't know how worth it that might be to some people. I think it is worth it to me because I don't want to make a whole nother account just to have all 7 wizards. And so let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, everybody, so I had to take a quick break, well, actually a long break from making the rest of this video. I did not have the right seat to be sitting here for so long, but now I do. So I can go ahead and proceed with the introduction to the game, and this is the tutorial. This is a pretty good place to start, especially for new players that don't know the storyline, because you get to meet the villain right here in the tutorial for the first third of the Wizard 101 game. So let's go ahead and get started.
My name is Merle Ambrose. I am the headmaster of the Ravenwood School of Magical Arts. We're expecting great things from you, but first things first. To move around, use the arrow keys on your keyboard. Try it now. My owl friend would like to speak with you. Walk up to Gamma and follow his instructions to talk.
This is actually one of the longest tutorials I've ever done. So if you've already made a character, then at the beginning I'm sure you saw there was a skip tutorial. little button there, and that will just skip you right through this tutorial all the way to the end, to where you basically are starting out right inside of Merle's office, basically. And now, I don't think that was always there, because I feel like I was forced to do this tutorial so many times.
Hello, my name is Gamma the Owl, and I am quite pleased to meet you. Wizards test their skills by summoning fantastic creatures, and to become a master wizard, you must learn every spell in your class. Wizards love to duel. The more spells you learn, the better a duelist you'll become.
Interesting. Oh, here he is. Our bad guy. Oh, I love it. And then you see him.
Oh!
How odd. Come along, young wizard. Let's investigate the matter. Meet me in the tower.
You'd best follow the headmaster. You're safe with him. To the tower!
Alright, let's get in the tower.
Who's there? Malistaire.
Ambrose.
You are no longer welcome here. Why have you returned?
I'm here to resolve our unfinished business.
Hurry along, young wizard. Take this deck of spell cards and deal with those creatures while I tend to Malistaire himself.
Don't be so sure of yourself, old man.
Run up and confront them. Be brave. I will guide you.
So this is one of the things I love about this game, is the way you battle. So battling is very
You
very
draw these
relaxed
spells from
compared
your
to
deck. Quickly.
most
You must
other...
choose a spell and use it to attack one of Malistaire's henchmen by clicking on him.
most other MMOs want you to be very active in combat, but this is very relaxed. So this is just an example of what
You're
kind of
hurt.
gameplay you're
You'll need to pay
gonna
attention to your
expect.
current
It's
health.
very
This
relaxed.
red crystal ball shows your health. If you run out of health in a wizard duel, you'll be defeated. The blue crystal ball shows how much mana you have left. Well, mana is magical energy. If you run out of mana, you won't be able to cast any more spells. When you're out of mana, you'll be at the mercy... Why so distracted? We're under attack. Oh, my. Call me a fool. I had all but forgotten.
Man, the voice acting. I love the voice
Where were we
actors.
then? Oh, right.
So yeah, as I was saying, the battle is one reason that really keeps me playing, is because, you know, in World of Warcraft it was like 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, you know, all that you have to keep constantly going, unless, you know, just move to the sidelines for a minute. That's the only time you get to breathe. And this, though, after you select a card and aim it, or whatever you have to do with it, play it, you can pretty much get up, run to the bathroom real quick, pee,
You
go
doddering
get a
fool.
drink,
Your student is no
whatever you
match
want.
for my forces.
I do
Oh,
like
no.
that.
You're in trouble. Quick.
Yay, a storm spell.
Foolish creatures! You've let the young whelp heal. Defeat the whelp or you'll suffer for it. Use your spells to weaken the young wizard's spells.
The more pips you
No,
have,
I
the
didn't mean to do
stronger the
that.
spells you can cast.
But it happens, huh?
Quickly now. Pick another spell and cast it at one of them.
And like right now, I have to
That spell reduces
go right
the
back
power of your
and
own spell.
get my dog out. Sorry about that. I had dogs outside and they wanted inside. So, oh boy. And see, that's what I'm saying. Is you can get up and you can do that in this game versus other games to where you have to be very in it second by second.
Cast this Balance Blade spell on yourself. It will increase your next spell's power. This one learns fast, Alistair. 2, I've got it. Use this meteor
I
strike
didn't mean to do
spell.
that either.
It will strike
Jeez.
both of the henchmen. Here are the pips to cast it with. With the Balance Blade spell you've already cast, the Meteor Strike spell...
Sorry if I'm going a little too fast. I try to let them narrate, but for time's sake, I kind of just want to get through it. I've also been through this, several times, so it's always the same. So once you do it once, really you don't have to do it again, especially now that they let you skip the tutorial. I swear that wasn't always there, but maybe it was, and I just never noticed it. I don't know. I would have thought I would have noticed it. But this is the first time I've created a character after the new update with the revamp of Unicorn Way.
Excellent work, young wizard. Now, let me see to Malistaire. I'll show him. Threatening a new student before orientation, no less.
Another time, old man. I have what I came for. And now I'll take my leave of this wretched place.
He's gone, and none too soon. What sinister goal brought him here? Oh, my. You look a bit the worse for wear. Here, let me restore you to your full health and manner. On the bright side, congratulations. Defeating Malistaire's henchmen has earned you some experience. This experience bar will help you track your progress. When the bar fills up, you'll gain a level and be able to learn new spells.
Like most MMOs, right? I mean...
Now, do you have any questions, young wizard? What's that? You don't know how to speak? Oh, my pardon. Well then, let me teach you how to use menu chat, and we'll see what you have to say for
I always
yourself.
forget it's menu chat, and then it's filter chat, and then it's open chat. That's the 3 types of chat you have. So menu chat is what we're about to see, and it's the most basic form of chat. If you don't have parental parent to make your account and you're under the age of 13, this is the only kind of chat you'll have. Or if you just hate filter chat and open chat, you could always just use this as your default.
This is the menu chat button. Click on it to say something.
So menu chat, I think it's very kind of hard to use, just because first if you want to be able to talk, you have to click that, then you have to find the category of whatever you want to say, and then you have to hope it has something in here that you can use to relay to the other person as to what you're saying. I kind of wish it would be more like if I hit Control H, that's like a standard greeting. Little shortcuts like that I think would help. So let's just go ahead and say hello.
You have the way of it. Now you can chat with anyone you meet and make lots of friends here. You can also hit enter and type your own messages using text chat. But players under 13 will first need their parents' permission.
Yep.
You'll also need a spellbook and a wand.
That's what I just said,
There you go.
Ambrose.
No young wizard should ever be without them.
Yay, my first spellbook. And my
I
first
should
one.
say, young wizard, that I was quite impressed with your courage. There's little doubt, but that a great destiny awaits you. Well, who knows? Maybe you'll fill my shoes and become headmaster someday. But now, if you'll excuse me, I have a mountain of duties to attend to right now, including readying your enrollment. So if you don't mind waiting for a moment or two, I'll pop back to my office and straighten up. I'll summon you when things are presentable. So many books and papers to tidy up. Where did I put those forms? See you soon.
And that's the end of the tutorial. And now I'm getting transported to his office. That's right. Alright, so I think I'm just going to end the discussion, review, whatever, introduction. I'm just going to end the introduction to Wizard 101 right here because I feel like this video has already taken a lot longer than what I intended it to be. I wanted it to be something you could watch, you know, in a very quick, short amount of time. So I am just going to stop here rather than going into the first part of Wizard 101 after the tutorial, which is Unicorn Way. Kind of go over everything I said in the first part of the video and kind of just sum up my review here. So I really like this game because it is hardware friendly, which means it's potentially open to more people than the newer cutting edge games, just because not everyone's going to have the latest laptop. But most people will be able to work with these requirements that Wizard 101 has, because they're not very high requirements. You know, they're very. I just looked them up earlier today, but we can look at them right now. You know, so yeah, I mean, as you can see, you know, the requirements are not that bad. You know, 1 gigahertz CPU. I mean, nowadays, you know, everyone has like a 1.5 or a 2 that's running on like 4 cores, or at least, you know, maybe 8 cores, you know, on average. And God, who knows how many more cores they got. I mean, CPU speed is just so fast compared to this was first built. So 1 gigahertz CPU, 512 megabytes RAM. I mean, my computer has about 16 in it right now, and I feel like that's pretty standard for anything that you're looking at as far as a gaming computer. Operating system, Vista or higher. I mean, Vista, that was back in 2007, I feel like. And then the video card, GeForce 2, and I don't know what we're on now. What's the latest GeForce? Latest GeForce graphics card. Yeah, the latest is the 2080, and God only knows how far removed that is from uh, the 2. That's just it's just so basic. And then 5 gigabytes of free disk space. And if you got a gaming computer, you know, it's probably got a terabyte at least of free disk space, just because most gaming computers now are coming with a lot more disk space than I remember even 10 years ago. So it's very hardware friendly. Like I said, other than being hardware friendly, I really like the gameplay. The gameplay is very relaxed. You know, I can get up and get whatever I want whenever I'm playing Wizard 101. I don't have to, you know, be on the keyboard constantly, second by second. If I need to look away, if I need to go let a dog outside, if I need to use the bathroom, I'm not really, you know, missing out on a whole lot, because it lets you take 30 seconds to take a turn, and on top of that, it usually takes a full minute or so for all the bad guys you're fighting to take their turn. So I really feel like it's a very relaxed type of game. It's not something you have to be on top of second by second. I really like that. The storyline, I like that too. Storyline is very interesting as far as, you know, being a family, more kids-oriented game. It's got its, you know, bad points, and it's got its good points. But, you know, good point is it's a very straightforward, easy to understand storyline. It's not that convoluted, so, you know, it's something that everybody can get into, and it's not in your face constantly, so you don't have to pay attention to the storyline to enjoy the game. But of course, you know, if you're into the RPG aspect of the game, the storyline is there, and it doesn't really let you down. Card battles, I kind of went over that. The aesthetic, I really like the aesthetic because, as you can see, it's very, I mean, it's just pleasant to look at. I mean, really, it's cartoonish, but it's not like so in your face cartoonish that you're over it, you know. It's interesting. And even Merle, like, you know, yeah, he's supposed to be like a Merlin type character, But he's got some really unique and odd features happening here. I love his monocle. I also love this crystal ball that I never have actually looked into. Uh, and look, that's cool. Has all sorts of different things happening there. Not quite sure what's happening in there, but it's happening. Oh, there's Bartleby. Okay. So, I've never noticed this. That's actually pretty interesting. The only thing I don't like about this game, and well, not the only thing, but one of the things I don't like about this game is the friend list. No, I don't want to be a friend right now. Jesus Christ, I don't even know how long I'm going to keep this character. So the friend list is, let's see, display friend count. So you can only have a maximum of 150 friends, and this is without, an extra a potion, because they do sell a potion in the Crown shop, of course, that extends your friend count by 50, I believe. Might be more than that, but I think it's at least 50, which would raise it up to 200. And, a lot of people, they make friends pretty fast, and 150 friends, you can add 150 names pretty fast. I've maxed out my friend count before. So that's something that I think is a little restrictive, especially compared to, World of Warcraft, which is the standard nowadays for an MMO. And it's just like, on World of Warcraft, I don't think I'm limited to how many people I can add on my friend list. I think it's pretty much unlimited. Now that might have changed since I left, but I don't remember it ever being a problem on World of Warcraft. How many friends I could add on my friend list. So that's something I really don't care for. Obviously, it's not open world. Oh man, but this is basically what I'm talking about. Like, there's a loading screen in between,
Welcome to Unicorn Way.
and I don't remember this.
There are creatures here who will attack you if you get too close to them, so stick to the task at hand.
Whoa, 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 young student.
All right, let me talk.
Wizard, do you see this symbol
Let me
above
talk.
Private Connolly's
Um,
name? That means
so
he has
yeah.
something important to tell you. Go
Gamma,
see.
shut up. This wasn't like this before. It used to be like once I exited his office, I would go out into Wizard City. I guess it transport you straight to Unicorn Way now. That's nice, I guess. But what I was trying to say before I was rudely interrupted is there's a loading screen in between every little place you go to. Any place you enter that has a door, you have a loading screen. And the standard nowadays is open world, meaning if I'm in like a particular territory, I shouldn't have a loading screen just to go into a building or out of a building or into a castle or out of a castle. Really, the only time you should have a loading screen is if you're going into a dungeon, right? So this is obviously not very open world at all, and that is one of the things I really don't care about it, just because it does take so much time out of playtime to actually load the screen. And I always thought that was very retro because I remember EverQuest, and EverQuest was like this. You had a loading screen in between every little zone. Your zones weren't very big, and you can only go so far without needing the loading screen. I would like to point out, and that's in-game moderators. There's not enough of them. For being a quote-unquote family entertainment game, there's a lot of stuff happening here in the commons, and I will just go show you really fast what I mean. So, this is one of the things I was talking about, the loading screen. It takes forever. Okay, so now we're in the commons, and so let's get over to where everybody else is at, because that's usually where all the chatting's happened. Okay, and is this the most populated? So if you go into the commons and you go onto the most populated server, or whatever you want to call this, realm, whatever, you will usually see people standing here talking pretty filthy, and it just never seems like there's a moderator that's around paying attention at all. And I just feel like they should be in here in every realm, especially the most populated realms. Maybe not every realm, but like the most populated realms. Um, like this one, Ambrose. It's always pretty bad. And so like this, I need a guy. Same. Like really? I mean, that's not too. I mean, out of the line, but it's just like Jesus. Now I want to love a guy. Now see, this is where we're going. We're going down somewhere. We're going down some sort of rabbit hole here. Let's see what else happens. And then like there are realms, not servers, realms that people know to stay away from. Like let's see, Woo. I think it was Woo. For some reason that was a bad realm, and you couldn't really stop in here and not be bombarded with a bunch of sexual innuendo. Um, you know, but now I think they cleaned this one up a little bit. But now they gotta focus on the other ones. Alright, so in-game moderation is one thing I'd like to see more of. And then there's a lot of in-game purchases, and there are stuff that you have to have. Like, if you get to max character, you're gonna have to have... Let me go over here. A bank elixir. I am so bad on bank space right now, I need a bank elixir. But look, it's 2,500 crowns. If you're buying crowns for 1,000 for $1, um, you know, that's a pretty good rate. But that's still $2.50 you just spent to expand your bank space. Um, in most other games, like you can make a backpack that expands how much space you have in your pack, and it's not so necessary to rely on your bank space. And speaking of the backpack, here's one. And I have ran out of backpack space many a time on this game, which is probably why I also have horrible bank space. Um, and so I did buy one of these because I needed to expand it, but I'm probably going to spend more just to max it out. So that way I don't have to worry about running out of backpack space because it's annoying. You're in the middle of questing and you got a long way to go and you have to stop everything you're doing, plop down a marker, hop all the way back over to Wizard City, which is this space, you have to come all the way back over here no matter where you are, and you have to go down into this tunnel, and you go down past that into another district, and that's where the bazaar is. And the bazaar is like the auction house in most other MMOs, except that you're not really selling and buying from other people. You're just selling to an NPC, and people buy those things from the NPC. So it's a little bit different, but I mean, at least the pricing's always the same. The prices don't really fluctuate like they used to on World of Warcraft. I remember, one minute you could find something you really needed for really cheap, or the next minute, you might be forced to pay 10 times the price because it just ran out. And now it's a hot commodity item because now there's not as much as there was. So that is one good. Said in the beginning, like the character creation, the whole avatar thing, that could be boosted up so much. Like I really just don't get why we have. Look at her chin. It's like pointed. It's so sharp. Everything's so sharp and not what it would really be like in real life if it was a little bit softer. It would look more like a real human face because it wouldn't have all these jagged edges and points and whatnot. And then same thing with the hair. I mean, there's a lot of jagged edges happening here, a lot of points happening. I kind of like the spiky look, but at the same time, I'm like, it doesn't look like anything like real hair. Kind of looks like straw or something. So, this is my video, my review for Wizard 101, and I really do love the game. I just hope they, do some different things, like update avatars, get away from this in-game purchasing thing. If you have to, raise the membership $1 or two. $12.99 is not bad every month. And, if you need that to, pay your employees to keep updating the game, keep coming out with new content, then maybe you just need to think about that. versus trying to add more stuff into this thing. So I really hope you all enjoyed this. This is just supposed to be my review and introduction to the game, so if you're a new player and you've never played this game before, I hope this has helped you a little bit, and I hope you all tune in next time for my next video. Thanks so much, everybody.